friends, my name is Victoria and welcome back to another video. We're not going to talk about how long it's been since I last posted here because it doesn't matter and you don't care and I don't care and I just want to talk about Succession, so let's go. So, last week was the kickoff of one of my favorite times of year, Emmy season, but when the nominations came out on Tuesday, I actually wasn't home. I was at my college orientation, and while I had a ton of fun over there, I was maintaining a less annoying version of my personality in order to not scare away the people I just met, so I didn't get to fully geek out over this the way I wanted to, and I thought, what better way to return to my 2 subscribers and the 50 random people my parents send this to than by celebrating the way I believe I deserved. I love television and I've missed talking about television, so I think this is going to be a lot of fun if you care about this at all. So let's go. I'm going to begin by talking about Succession because of course I am. I remember in 2020, Succession totally swept the Emmys for their 2nd season, but I knew nothing about it other than that Kieran Culkin was in it. But then this January, this show basically took over my entire life, and now I'm going to be so unbelievably upset if they don't sweep again this year. Acting-wise, almost every main cast member is nominated for something, which is really cool because this ensemble is like spectacular, super well deserved. I think the only thing that could go wrong with this is that the votes could get split in the categories they do share. That's not an original thought, my dad told me that. But that's kind of like out of our control. I'd rather they be recognized than not, if that's the case. Anyways, I've established my position as a pretty big Kieran Culkin stan. That being said, I don't think I could choose a frontrunner for this group. I can't put this pin on. I don't know why I thought this would be funny to do as I talk about it. Anyways, I'd be happy with literally any wins, so that's kind of fun. That being said, the show's big nomination this year is of course Best Drama Series, and I have to start by saying, obviously, like, this show's writing is exquisite. It feels like modern Shakespeare and modern the Bible. I don't even know. It's spectacular, but it's also one of the funniest shows I've ever seen, and this is where I kind of want to pose a question. Why is Succession funnier than Barry? A show in the comedy category. It actually makes me want to scream. I love Barry, we know this. I think I've said this before. If I haven't, like, obviously I love Barry. I'm the biggest Bill Hader stan in the world. But every episode is darker than the last. I don't care if it's good. I don't see how putting it against, like, Abbott Elementary is fair. But then when I say Succession should swap categories with Barry, I'm the bad guy. Greg Hirsch has more funny in his pinky than Barry's entire 3rd season, but it's not a big deal. I guess as long as Bill Hader is recognized, I'm happy. I'm gonna move on now, so I'm gonna take this off, but... Ow! Oh my god! Anyways, I'm gonna talk about the other Best Drama nominees now because I really like this lineup. There are a lot of shows I'm totally obsessed with, like Stranger Things, as well as a lot of shows I've lied about seeing because TikTok basically just spoiled it for me, like Squid Game and Euphoria. I also want to say I've only seen 1 episode of Severance, but I'm gonna try to finish it soon because I know it's huge right now, and I honestly can kind of see it sweeping, and I'm gonna be embarrassed if I'm not caught up by then, so... wait. Anyways, among all these drama shows are a ton of acting nominations that I think are totally deserved, but I wanted to mention that once again, Stranger Things cast has totally been snubbed, and this never makes sense to me. The the kids in particular are incredibly talented, and it's insane that they're not being recognized. I personally love the Stranger Things cast, and I really hope they know that I see them and I'm also single. So we now move on to the comedy nominations, which are always a little embarrassing for me because while comedic entertainment is kind of my whole brand, I'm always a little behind on the modern critically acclaimed. That being said, this year I'm proud to announce I've seen 4 of the shows as opposed to 0, so I'm glad to talk about what I do know. I'm gonna start with Ted Lasso. I know this time last year I had not seen it, but I ended up starting it later in the summer because one of my friends told me to, and he's one of the few people I consider like on par with me in terms of comedy. You don't care. But I did end up watching it and I really liked it. I totally get the hype. That being said, I feel like maybe competition is tougher this year than it was last when they won like basically everything, though I understand my perspective isn't totally fair because last year I hadn't seen any of the competition. Aside from Barry, which I said I think is unfair, my vote would honestly probably go to What We Do in the Shadows. That's one of my favorite shows of all time, but I don't really see the Academy feeling the same way. I've noticed Abbott Elementary seems to be a fan favorite this year, and that's also something I fully support. I started it recently. It's so fun, so refreshing, but we also know I'm a sucker for workplace comedies, so either way I think I'm good. In terms of the Comedy Acting Awards, I again can't really make any calls. I haven't seen a lot of these, but I would like Bowen Yang to finally win for SNL. He was nominated last year too. We know I love everything he's brought to this series, and I'm happy anytime SNL succeeds in any way, so that'd be cool. I do have some hopes for the limited series nominees because I've seen some of those. I'd love to see some wins for either The Dropout or Inventing Anna, especially for the lead actresses in those two. Those were two characters I was totally mesmerized by earlier this year, and I'd be really happy with either victory. I also noticed Andrew Garfield is nominated for Under the Banner of Heaven. I've never seen that. I have seen him, and I think he should just kind of get whatever he wants, So with that, we've covered all of the big things people watch the Emmys for, so now I'm just going to highlight a few of my favorite more random nominees. One thing I know y'all aren't looking at is Outstanding Choreography, but I'm telling you to pay attention right now, because if Daniela Karagok doesn't win for her work on Dancing with the Stars, I might actually die. If you haven't seen the show, I can't get into it all right now. I could be talking here for hours, but what you need to understand is that Daniela is probably one of the best pros to ever grace this series. It's only her second season, and she turned Amon Shumpert into a champion this year because she knew how to play to his strengths. She's an outstanding choreographer and dancer, and she's one of the coolest, prettiest, most talented people in the world. I need you to watch their dance. I'll put it in my description. It's amazing. Watch the show while you're at it. Anyways, Loki's intro song is also nominated for like best main theme music, and low-key, some of that show made me kind of uncomfortable, but I've always liked that tune, so I think it'd be nice if they could at least have that. Also, Barack Obama is nominated for Outstanding Narrator. I have not heard a second of that performance, but I like the idea of him having an Emmy, so go Barack. I could talk a lot more, but I think I've said everything I really wanted to say about the nomination, so I'm just gonna wrap up with some comments about the actual upcoming ceremony itself. First of all, I was horrified to find out the Emmys are on a Monday this year. That's like really not good. That's really bad, actually. That's actually really bad. I wanted to host a viewing party for the first time, and a Monday is not gonna help, because honestly, I don't think my friends would have wanted to come in the first place, and it being on a school night is gonna, it's gonna give them an excuse to not be there. If the party doesn't work out, I went on some website and I signed up to be like a seat filler, because I thought my life would honestly probably improve by a lot if I just felt the vibe of that place, but I have not heard a word about that, and I either gave them the wrong information or I got my info stolen. So that is where my notes app ends. I didn't know how to end this video because I used to end my videos by saying like, subscribe if you want, I'll be here. And I'm scared to make promises after not being here for 6 months. I would like to establish, I know I said I wasn't gonna like talk about being gone. The whole time I was gone, I wanted to be making stuff. You know how hard it was not talking about SNL? That past season of SNL, I have a lot to say about that. But I was busy. I don't want to like bombard you with excuses, but like I low-key was valedictorian of magical, so blah, blah, blah. I'm just gonna end by saying thank you for watching, whether you've been watching the ones from a long time ago or the ones now. I'm always happy to talk about things, and I'm hoping I can do it more frequently, and if I don't, I'll probably come back in another couple months. So thank you for sticking around. I hope you had fun. I hope you're excited for the Emmys, because I'm really excited for the Emmys, and if you want to come to my viewing party on a hecking Monday, hit me up. Okay, bye! You know what's so crazy is that I like just got a haircut, and people who have been like seeing me frequently know that my hair right now is a lot shorter than it was. But if the last time you saw me was my last video, which was December, then like you would think my hair does not grow, when in reality it grew a lot, and then I cut it, but you haven't seen me in forever because I'm not a good content creator. But the joke is I'm not a content creator because I've always just been making videos for fun. and the people who watch my videos are like coworkers that my parents send these to, and I've told them, like, honestly, I don't think your coworkers like want to watch this, but then they show them anyway. And I do have things to do.